there's two incidents that I did videos on that uh, near the end of my stay there, but I had gotten kicked out once, and Alan Stewart, like, you're a horrible person for what you did to me. You don't just kick someone out if like something happens. First of all, I didn't do anything wrong, and then you kick me out, and then you do it again. Like, you call the cops and lie to them, and like then I come over, and then like bags packed, like, just leave, like, just homeless. Like, what's wrong with you? But like, he's bringing over, like, not that I judge these things, and I'm mentioning this just because my dad judges these things, and for with Alan, I think it's hypocritical. But he's done meth. I smelled meth coming from his room, and he brings like guys over sometimes, and he does it alone and possibly with them too. Maybe that's how he gets them, or he pays for them. They're hookers one way or the other, and I don't care about that. I really don't. I don't think there's anything wrong with either one of those things, as long as you're not hurting anyone. But to judge me and to lie to my dad about how things really are when I'd only been loud 2 times, just because I'm feeling pain worse, that's no reason to rip someone out of their bed by the police, put them in the hospital, and then put them in a crazy place, which made me worse. I'm not suicidal, but I guarantee, but Dad, Alan, Tim, what you guys did, you guys drove me closer to suicide than ever before. And I still wasn't suicidal, but you drove me to a place where I was so hopeless and so hurt and so scared and so alone and so it's still being attacked by these people and so down that, like, that's probably the closest that I ever wanted to kill myself. And I still didn't want to, but I'm mentioning that because you don't treat people like that. You took me from one place and you put me in a worse place, and you say it was for my own good. And Alan Stewart, you're a horrible person. And Tim Cunningham, you're a horrible person too. You are. You're a selfish individual. When I was there, you treated me like I was like your part-time boyfriend. And I was like, I don't want to be boyfriends. It's like, okay, not. But then you still treat me like a boyfriend and not just a friend or a roommate. Like, and then you trap me in this weird situation. And then, like, you use, and then and then Alan uses, and Alan starts vaping for no reason and gets tattoos and bringing home hookers, none of which I care about. Like, I don't think those are bad things, but they're bad things when you're doing it and then you're judging other people. And like, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm being attacked all the time. For Alan, for you to say suffer in silence, like, that is one of the most horrible things you can say to someone. I mean, they can say like a whole lot more. They've said a whole lot more horrible things. But as far as like normal people, mostly normal people, like, I was so offended by that. And yeah, I know I was being loud. I'm being hurt, regardless if you think it's coming from a neurological condition, a mental illness, which pain does not come from mental illness. Aside from that stupid depression commercial with depression hurts. And I'm not saying that that's not the case. But aside from that, mental illness does not cause pain. Okay? Pain can cause from neurological conditions, but it doesn't come from like schizophrenia. Schizophrenia does not cause pain. Paranoia does not cause pain. Psychosis does not cause pain, although like you can probably act freak out and stuff and think you're about to get hurt when you're not getting hurt. But like, it doesn't cause pain. And it doesn't cause pain that other people can feel when they hover their hands over your body, as people have gone on written and in-person record with Travis County Sheriff's Department. That doesn't happen. Alan, you can't say that you did the right thing. Dad, you can't say that you did the right thing. Tim, you can't say that you did the right thing. You absolutely, there's no way to look at it in any way whatsoever, with however you feel or however ignorant you are with regarding mental health people or homeless people or drug addicts. None of those of which I am. And even if I was, you don't treat people like that. You treated me like shit. You did something horrible to me repeatedly, and you didn't apologize for it. You didn't make right on it, and you still think you did the right thing. Dad, the totality of what the fuck are you talking about? That's complete and utter bullshit. the totality of the events. Like, fuck you. So someone was loud a couple of nights, like over a couple month period. You think that warrants, when they're quiet, having the police come and then leave because they did the right thing? You think the police should be able to come, like my landlord or owner should be able to come in here and take a hammer to my door and take the door handle off with the lock? That's illegal to begin with. That is violent. I don't care what you say, Dad. That is violent. Saying the same thing that Tim said about well, it's his door. He can do whatever he wants. Not when he's renting a room out to it. Not when there's someone in there who doesn't know that there's about to be a hammer taken to the door. Well, he did because I guess he gave me a 1 second warning or 2 second warning, right? You think that warrants having the police come again or taking a hammer to the door, unlocking it, which is illegal and violent. It is violent. And to rip them out of bed and to put them in the hospital for no reason and to not even interview them. You don't treat people like that. And I will never forgive any of you for that. I don't understand. Like, why can't you just tell me you believe me and like not be like Tom Denton and be like, I believe you, and then totally act like, if you believe me, you wouldn't just ignore it. You guys sit there and like go through your lives normally. And I know that this is a stress in your life too, but you're like still going on with your lives. And I'm literally being assaulted every single day. And then you treat me like shit on top of it. Why can't you just send me more money? Why can't you like fly me somewhere? I guarantee you, if I get on a plane with Max, like I won't hear them anymore. I guarantee you like they won't be there, and they probably won't be where I land. They followed me on a bus like a few hours. They followed me to Oklahoma City, but they didn't go all the way to Chicago. I don't know if they were planning on it, but they didn't, or they were recharging or quiet. But like, why can't you tell me you believe me and that you're looking into it? What harm would that cause? That wouldn't fuck up any sort of secret investigation that you guys are doing. That wouldn't. You don't have to tell me, like, why can't you send me more money? Why do I have to sit there and like penny pinch and then this stuff is making me smoke more, so I have to do that. I know that, Dad, you don't want to support my smoking, but I'm going through the most stressful thing. And I heard you when you were like in the food stamp thing saying that you do not spend $36,000 a year on me. And maybe you were projecting if I stayed in that hotel an entire year, but I wasn't. And even then, it still wouldn't total $36,000 or whatever the fuck the number is that you said. And food stamps run out, and they're not that much. And you don't even give me enough to buy like fruit or yogurt or like hardly any snacks. I buy granola bars, lunch meat, some bread, peanut butter jelly, pasta, macaroni and cheese, ramen. That's it. So I eat like the same thing all day long. And it's not even like good lunch meat. It's like the cheapest lunch meat possible. Why can't you treat me better? Why can't you say you believe me? Why can't you treat me like a decent person? Like, why can't you send me more money? Why can't you pay for me to go somewhere else and live? Like, I'm a fucking victim of terrorism, and you're sitting there like, oh, get a job. How can you fucking get a job like this? Even if I was just schizophrenic and hearing these voices all day long, how do you expect me to find an apartment, Dad, with a record and with a dog and with, and Buddy Allen or BJ Allen? Like, I've never heard anyone call you BJ, but maybe that's what you go by in your normal life. But like, I'm so disappointed in you too. What you said to me is not something you say. First of all, I wasn't on meth. Second of all, if I was, meth does not have a detox. It doesn't. Maybe you sleep a lot, like for like the next day. It has no detox whatsoever. Now, with mental addictions, which I don't have that, maybe there might be some irritability or some fiending or something like that, as would be with anything. But it's not like cigarettes. It's not like alcohol. It's not like heroin. It's not like Coke. There's no physical addiction to it. There's not much of aside from like leaning on it like a crutch, like some people do and need to. There's no, like, for you to say like you were going to like put me like in a sleep sack or whatever around me and hook a catheter up to me, which is really weird because they kept trying to make me think, oh, Buddy knows and he's in on it and he's like trying to give you a secret message. Because when you mentioned catheter, they threatened to put a catheter on me in the hospital, like shortly, like just a couple weeks before that. It's like, ooh, catheter. They mentioned catheter before that. Like, ooh, Buddy's going to put a catheter. That's a secret. He knows. But like, we're still fucking with you because we know that they know and blah, blah, blah. So when you do things like that, it's not appreciated. And it won't be appreciated even if you're doing something behind the scenes and doing this. It will still be a mistake. It will still be one of the biggest regrets, if not the biggest regret in your entire lives, because you do not treat people like that. Buddy, what you did, I was at a point where they're trying to push suicide. And again, I'm not suicidal. I don't want to kill myself. I never have. Do not take that as someone that's crying out for help or at risk for suicide. But this could drive people to suicide. I don't know like what would happen if this was going on a whole another year or 10 years. I don't know how like what I would do at that point. Hopefully it won't be, but like I've survived it now. I can't believe that they would stick on someone for that long. I can't believe they would stick on someone for as long as they did. I can't believe people would do this to another person. But to tell that and to shame, to say that you're ashamed of me or that I should feel shame, I should feel shame about nothing. Y'all should be proud of me for fighting this and for trying to bring this to the attention. And you guys should be ashamed. Every single one of you should be ashamed. I'm ashamed of you. I will never talk to any of you ever again, even if you're doing something behind the scenes. I will not respect you ever again. I will not think anything of you other than how you treated me and how you didn't fix it. And there's nothing you can do to make up for what you did. And for you, buddy, to like say what you said to me, I will never forgive you for that. I'm a wonderful, wonderful person. The nicest, kindest, most honest, decent, fair, ethical person you will ever meet. And for you to be such a hypocrite because you do meth and I wasn't doing meth. I know you do meth. I don't know when the last time you used is, but for you to sit there and to say that you're ashamed of me and that I should feel ashamed and for having a dog. That dog is, for one thing, it helps keeps me alive. Like he provides emotional support to me. He's my dog. I've had him for 6 years. You think I'm just going to give him away to someone? What is wrong with you? You had dogs. You just want to give them away? And like, just because I'm going through a hard time, I should give my dog away? Like, he's helping me. And unfortunately, he's suffering for it because they torture Max too. They zap him all the time. And they hurt him all the time. Just like they do with me. They make his ears itch all the time. They do the same thing to me. When he's itching his ears, they do the same thing to me. And then I'm scratching my ears like him. And when I put my hand over his body, I can feel those things making him itch or giving him heat or making him hurt. So for you, buddy, to say what you said to me, I'm ashamed of you. And I lost all respect that I had for you. Like, I thought you were a good person. And I thought you would be one of my biggest cheerleaders and my biggest fans. And that would be like the person. I thought you would be someone that would say, he doesn't deserve to go through this. I believe him, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you kind of like were like, you know, you had a roommate that had been fucked over by the police. But I don't know what you heard between then and now. And I don't know if you were watching these videos and think I'm some sort of like drug addict, crazy person. First of all, what if I was a crazy person believing this? And for you to say like I should be ashamed. So if I had gone schizophrenic and I had gotten like something fucked up with my brain, neurological or whatever, like, and I'm going through this, and so it's something that I am experiencing. Regardless, let's say it's not real, but it's still real in my head. Like, you think I should feel shame for that? Like, fuck you. Like, that's the most shameful thing. Like that's one of the most hurtful things anyone's ever said to me, because I thought you would be one of my biggest fans. I thought like you cared about me, and what you said to me was unforgivable, and it's unconscionable, and like you're a horrible person to have said that. You're not as horrible as these people, but what you did, and I was at a very low point. That wasn't that long ago. That was like a month ago. 2 months ago. For you to have said that at such a low point, like that could have been the tipping point for someone in the same situation, or even me in a parallel timeline, to go and end their life after what you said to them. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm ashamed and I'm embarrassed by you. And the same kind of goes for my dad, for my sister, for Alan, for Tim, for Tom. Even though Tom acts nice, it's still like, you're still letting me go through this. You lied to my dad. Whether or not you intended to lie to him or not, I don't think you intended to lie to him, but you told my dad a series of lies, of false statements, and you didn't correct them. No, I bullet pointed it to you in emails and in text messages and in conversations, and even with my dad. No, this is not true. No, this is not true. You told my dad, you basically made my dad think that I was an emaciated, fucked up meth head that didn't have his shit together, and I wasn't emaciated. I was overweight. You said, "Oh, I fit into your stepson's gym shorts." No, I didn't. I even finally, when I got to the Grove after the incarceration, I finally tried on some gym shorts. And I'm like, "What the fuck? These don't fit." And I'm like, "Oh, these are the shorts that like my dad mentioned that like I fit into his gym shorts." And Tom, you've done fucking coke before. I don't know if you still do, but you have like, oh my god, we should like, oh my god, who cares? It doesn't matter. But it matters that like I did meth occasionally, which had nothing to do with any of this shit, except for coming up positive, a couple of days later, when I wasn't using, and then they made me freak out. I wasn't staying up for days at a time. I was sleeping and eating every single day. I wasn't using every single day. I was using I got to the point where I was using like once a week. It wasn't around me anymore. I didn't want to use it anymore, but then they pushed me to it. It's like it's the only thing that kept me from going crazy or from like wanting to kill myself sometimes. Like, I don't want to be in those dark places. It works faster than Prozac. Like, you told my dad that I threatened your daughters to you. I did no such thing at all. There's nothing, even, you can look back at those texts. There's nothing that could be at all conceived. I wasn't even threatening those two sketchy girls that I was talking about. Like, why would I call you girls sketchy? We weren't even talking about your girls. I was talking about the two neighbor girls. I even said neighbors or something like that. They were a couple doors down. Like, I wasn't even threatening them to you. I wasn't even saying, like, I'm going to do something to them. And for you to say that I threatened your daughters and to gloss over that, like, that's something you should call immediately and put on a conference call, get on speakerphone, and then put it on a speakerphone again with me or whatever. All I wanted you to do was tell my dad the truth. And you lied to me. And you kept saying that you had corrected them. And I don't care what you say. You did not correct them. You did not correct them correctly. And when I finally kept pushing you on it and scheduled messages to ping you every fucking hour, to give him a fucking phone call, you finally sent a text to me, finally, and him, in a three-way text. And you said, "Oh, yeah, he wasn't, like, whatever, like, he didn't threaten my daughters." For you to be like, "Oh, well, let's gloss over it. Yeah, I corrected the record. He never threatened my daughters, and we would never think that of him." But it's a moot point now. For you to have said, "Oh, it's moot." It's not a moot point. You told my dad something that led him to make decisions, or to judge me in a certain way, and to make decisions that negatively affected me, and has irreparably damaged our relationship. It's his fault for not correcting himself on the record, even though I've corrected himself many times. But it's also your fault. It's not moot. Imagine, like I said, imagine if I had gone to Betsy, and this isn't a threat. Don't take it that way. I know that you've taken things like the wrong way sometimes. This is a hypothetical to make you understand the situation that I'm in. Imagine if I had gone to Betsy a couple of years ago and I said, "Tom's cheating on you," or he threatened someone. But let's say like he's cheating on you and whatever, and he punched me or whatever, or he threatened me, if I ever told. Imagine if I did that and it wasn't true, obviously. And imagine if she divorced you or left you or put a strain in and then like for 2 years you didn't talk or whatever, and put a strain in your relationship. And that was the reason for that, or that was a huge contributing factor to that. And even if you got back together or not got back together, let's say 2 years later, I was like, "Oh, Betsy, that didn't really happen. I'm sorry that it was a lie. It was a mistake, whatever. I thought he did or he didn't, it's moot now. Let's move on and like have a positive life." Do you think that's an appropriate response? I think you would be very angry from that. If I had done something like that, you would be angry for the fact that I did to begin with. You'd be angry if I kept saying, "Oh yeah, I talked to her. I corrected the record." Well, and my dad's not telling me that the record's been corrected. He's not apologizing for not believing me. And then 2 years later, I'm like, "Oh, the thing that you, Tom, that you told me to correct Betsy on over and over and over again." For that alone, like for something that you probably shouldn't ever talk to me again about. "Oh yeah, Betsy. Yeah, we're all good. I don't even correct the record entirely." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's just something I misinterpreted. But he's a good guy. Sorry. But you didn't even say sorry." And it's like, I just think the best of Tom. Let's just move on. It's a moot point. Let's just put it behind us. That's not an appropriate acknowledgement for the damage that you did. It's not an appropriate way that you did it, even though you spoke highly of me. And for you to be like, oh, let's move past it. Oh, let's catch up. No, Tom, I'm never going to talk to you ever again. Ever. I might have to send you a text whenever I get if I get my disability, if I ever get it, or get and I might have to get some account information to have my number transported or ported over to someplace else. I'm never talking to you again. Like, I don't want to hurt you. Like, I just don't want you in my life anymore. You caused enough damage. And I know that I was going through this shit and like you got some collateral damage, but I think I don't think you have fibromyalgia. I think it was them. You threw your phone into the pool. I threw my phone into traffic. You were lying down on benches. I was lying down on benches too. Think. And Dad, you should apologize to me for even though you were going on information that you thought was right. You should still apologize for the way you treated me for that. And no, you still say things like, I believe you did intend on hurting someone. No, Dad, I did not. And it hurts me so much that you think I'm the type of person that would do that. I've never thrown a punch on anyone in my entire life. I'm drama averse. I don't like hurting people. I don't. I like helping people. I like people feeling better. I'm a giver. Like, I don't hurt people. And Dad, it's not an appropriate response for you to not do anything with it, and for you to totally ignore it, like you have with everything. Like I'm completely flabbergasted at the way that you've responded to certain things. So how did my loving father inappropriately respond to Tom's praise of me and of me additionally correcting the record and also pointing out that wasn't really an apology or an appropriate response, or that it wasn't a moot issue and that it was very important to me? He said, "You're such an ass, Kip." That's my piece of shit father. That's how he responds to things, or just not at all. It's just what he's best at. I thought you were, you've been a nice person a lot of your life. I thought that you'd be like, oh my God, I thought he did this and he didn't do it. Oh my God, I accused him of doing this. I believed him that he had done this and he didn't. And you didn't when I bring it up repeatedly. Oh, I still think you were going to build a bomb or blow up. No, Dad, I was saying they push people to that. I'm sorry I didn't add another text there to Robin while I was being attacked, who lied to me also. Oh, I didn't tell Dad to this. Yeah, you did. He told me you did. You fucking liar. You're a lying bitch. Tom, for you to put my dad in that place, and for Dad, for you to not reprocess information when I correct you on it, that document is 99% correct. It is. I don't have a faulty memory. And Dad, fuck you for I corrected you on it over and over again. And you believe these, and then Tom corrects you and you don't reprocess it. You're a programmer. You're not reprocessing the inputs to come out with a new output. That influenced you to not bail me out. And I also won't forgive you for not bailing me out the first time. You didn't hire me a lawyer. I had to pay a lawyer, wasting money on a lawyer that didn't do shit for me. So he did get me out of jail and he kept me from going to a mental institution. I would have gone to and then eventually I did go to a mental institution. So thanks a lot. And you think I deserved it. Fuck you for that. I will never forgive you for that. You said you were going to bail me out. I even agreed to go to rehab, even though I didn't need to go to rehab. I just wanted to get out of there. One that would hopefully take dogs. But even then I was like, fine, I'll go. And you said you would bail me out. And then you came to visit me after not bailing me out and telling me that you weren't going to bail me out when you were with Robin. That's why I didn't come to the visitation thing. And Robin said you cried. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you were hurt by that. You hurt me. You lied to me. You treated me like shit. And Robin, you called me a meth head. I'm not a fucking meth head. You're a pothead. And you were drunk for a period of your life. So what? You hear me calling you that, except for now? And pot might lead to schizophrenia. Who knows? But probably not at your age. But way you treated me and the last time you talked to me on the phone, I will never forgive you for that. For ignoring every single thing I said. Robin, they said the guy in 301 had my phone. And they also said he hacked my Google account. I don't even know the guy. And he did. I found logs of his email address, put in as my recovery email address, and my phone was in his room on the little map, on the find your phone thing. And they did a little Simon Says thing with him too. But I kept mentioning that. Oh, we'll just gloss over it. You're a sketchy bitch. You stole my car from me. I have no transportation. Well, you would have lost it in impound. Yeah, but you got it out for me. I was even going to split, if it was sell it, I said, let's split the money. It should more than cover for the tires, which Dad probably would have paid for. And and what you're putting into it doesn't matter because you're benefiting from that car. So if you fix it up or whatever, that's your problem. Now for getting tires on it to sell it, that's one thing. But you've basically been driving around in my car acting like it doesn't run. That's not true at all. And you've been lying to me. What a sketchy, horrible person you are. And you're my sister. And you do that to me? You saw me convulsing in bed after Thanksgiving in 2016. The day after Thanksgiving, actually, it was the next morning, like 1 a.m. or something. You said I was convulsing in bed, saying that I just wanted this to stop. I was convulsing. That's not a mental illness, retards. Like, and you never told my dad that. I didn't even know that you witnessed that. I don't recall you coming into the room and seeing that or witnessing that. And then you tell me that. Why didn't you ever tell my dad that? You didn't. That's very important. You saw me convulsing in bed. I wasn't on anything. You saw me getting shocked, literally. You were a witness. You are a witness to this. You saw that. And you didn't tell my dad that. Or my sister that. I put you on, as a witness, but the police aren't contacting anyone anyway because they're fucking retards. They fucking can't do their job, causing me more pain. But, like, what the fuck? Wouldn't it have been helpful, Dad, to know, like, being shocked and know the, like, little zaps that people get? That's not what people experience when they're going off meth. Like, I go for months. I wasn't using. Still going through the shit. Oh, it's from a drug-damaged brain. No, Dad, it's not. I will never forgive you for that. What, I suddenly got epilepsy and fibromyalgia and schizophrenia and paranoia and neuropathy and fibromyalgia and migraines and vertigo and nausea and fever, like, that just come and go, and intermittent tinnitus, which is not a thing. People don't have intermittent tinnitus or sporadic tinnitus where it comes and goes. You think I have all that, plus I have the power of ESP, Robin. You think I could glean that guy's email address and like I couldn't even have suspected the guy. It's not like he was hanging out with me and then, like, oh, that guy took my phone. No. Total stranger. I could not have known that. Like, what is wrong with you people? I'm so angry and hurt and sad, and, like, I'm sad that you're not going to be in my life anymore the way that, like, I would have liked you to, but you chose to react the way that you did. I know it didn't help during certain instances with this, bullshit going on, but you don't treat someone like that. And I'm so disappointed in all of you. I'll never talk to any of you ever again. And that hurts me, but, like, I'll never be able to go through life and, like, see you and look at you and think anything other than, like, you did that to me. You treated me like that. And it's their fault primarily, but it's also your fault because you don't treat someone like that. There's no way that you can fix what you did and what you didn't do. A lot of the failure was on what you didn't do. And I'm being tortured and terrorized every single day, sexually and physically assaulted every single day. Now it's all day long. And you're just going about your life. So, Dad, have fun at your next Bruce Springsteen concert. I don't ever want to see you again.